Recording. There we go. All right. So 3 minutes. Oops. 3 minutes, and we're doing the first step. Let's see if I can switch the window here. Just do the jab sometimes, really bringing the leg. Remember to keep the dropping the shoulders. Oh man, I was just on the way over here. I forgot to say, on the way over here, I was a few blocks from here, and I saw this bike fly up in the air, and then some truck had or like big SUV had ran the red light and hit this guy. He flew up in the guy landed, but landed on his feet. He flew up in the air and landed on his feet. But he was pissed, but the lady got out and stuff. There were several people there that kind of blocked her, so she couldn't leave. So they probably got her insurance and all that, hopefully. Yeah. I was going to stop to help, but I was kind of late to get. I don't want to be late. I only had a few minutes.
Yeah, if there were other people, that's good.
There were several people there, yeah. But, if she went to hit him, she might have kept going and hit me. I don't know if she was on her phone or what happened.
Oh.
Didn't see the light.
Yeah, someone hit my car on the street in San Francisco. My car was totaled like 3 weeks ago.
What? Really?
It was parked, and when we came out, there was a crashed car in the middle of the street. And then my car was all bashed in on the back, and people in the neighborhood were like, "Yeah, these 3 guys crashed the car, and then they ran."
Oh.
Yeah.
Wonder if it was a stolen car or something.
That it must have been, because I don't think they found them.
Wow. That's messed up.
Yeah.
Did your insurance take care of it, or was it totaled?
It did. So my insurance gave me the worth of my car. But I just ended up buying a new car, which meant that I just paid a down payment. My car was like $1,000 for being paid off.
Oh shit.
The only good side of it is Adam kept pointing out, he was with me, my friend Adam. He was like, well, you never really liked that car. It was like it was kind of ugly and it had some issues. It drove well, but the trunk was tiny because it had a battery in it. So yeah. I got a car I like a lot more, so I didn't feel too bad. That was good. but now I'm gonna have car payment again.
Right. That sucks.
Because I didn't want to buy a used car and I guess usually I buy a new car because I usually have a long commute, but I don't have it now, but I will eventually.
Right.
I really want a super reliable car.
I hear you.
It was annoying. They gave me the value of my car that's like 5 years old. That's what I got.
That's cold.
That was all right. I was glad it was me. I was like, did this really screw somebody up,
Yeah, that's true.
I was like, at least I have good insurance and I could
At least you weren't in the car.
That's right. Well, at least they didn't hit a kid or something. That's what the people in the neighborhood were saying. They were pissed. They said it kept happening. People would speed around that corner really fast.
Damn, that's messed up. Yeah. Oh, this was going the other side.
Well, I'm so glad that biker wasn't hurt.
Oh, he didn't look too hurt. I thought he wasn't
killed or,
Yeah. It was a big old truck, like one of those ones that's like this tall, But he flew up in the air, and I don't know how he landed. I think he landed on his feet. He might not land on his feet, but he was on his feet pretty quick. He didn't look happy.
Probably ruined his bike too.
Oh no, yeah, probably. But I just hope he gets the insurance money. One time in Berkeley, I was doing laundry and I hear this explosion, and it was this of glass, and this guy had opened his door in front of a biker, right? And then and the guy was so, the biker was mad, had blood coming down his head, and the guy was the kid got out and was super pissed. The kid was just going, "Oh, my dad's gonna be pissed. My dad's gonna be pissed," because his window broke. And I was just like, "What the fuck?" And that guy was hurt. He was like, he was dazed though. He had blood coming down. I was like, "Man, that's fucked up." And he started walking off with his bike. I ran down the block like, "No, come back here." I made him come back. Like, man, I said, "You're not thinking right now, but you need his insurance." That kid was pissed too that that he could,
That's good. That's good.
I was like, "It's all right. You're gonna give it to him anyway."
Yeah, that's good. You helped. Yeah.
Because the guy was you could tell he was dazed,
Totally. He probably just wanted to get home. Like that's how you feel. Like you feel like you just want to get to safety,
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I hope he got paid. I mean, damn. That's what car insurance is for. People that do stupid shit. And then they gotta pay.
I ran a red light one time downtown. I was coming from the old Pacific, the first Pacific that's near our gym now.
I've done that. It's expensive.
Yeah, and no, the good thing was I didn't get caught or anything. I was driving after, doing a class and then sparring. And I was driving to my next class, and I just missed the light and went through it. But I realized I was going through it, and I could see the oncoming people, and they had plenty of time to stop. But they were like honking at me. I was like, "Oh shit!" Like, and I was like, "Okay, from now on, maybe don't drive after you train and spar,
right,
and just jump in the car,
I hear you. But it's funny, people that'll take a left when there's a green arrow, but it's not a green light, so they go straight through. And I was like, man, that's the stupidest thing. How do you do that? And I did the same thing about
the
6
thing
days.
is, if you.
So I saw the green light. I thought it was green. I went through. The person trying to take a left. I'm like, what the hell's wrong with you trying to take a? Oh shit! It was too late. I had to just go through. But it was just like, what are you gonna?
That's why when someone messes up, I even try to as long as I just figure they probably had a reason or they messed up. We all mess up. Just don't hit somebody. If you hit somebody messing up, you gotta know it was on you.
Yeah, true. Oh, so let's go. Same thing off the right leg. So we'll start with the same thing as far as bringing the back leg, and then pivot. But we're gonna pivot. For this first round, for the next couple rounds, we'll just do that same pivoting off the back leg. So bring the leg, pivot off it. Do a couple pivots before you throw though, so you're not lifting with the hand. So you bring your leg, pivot, and then you can work off that. All right, bring the leg, pivot, and then you can work off that. So you pivot a couple times, and that kind of sets foundation for whatever moves you're gonna do. But you just worry about the foundation at first, right? Bring the leg, pivot, and then you can work off that. Pivot, or bring your leg, pivot. So we'll do one round on each side. Then we're going backwards. We'll work a little more of the uppers. Also, as you're doing this, you can do it just straight across, right? But you can always put a little bend here, just kind of subtly, so you can. When you see that little bend, the uppercuts are a lot. You get that you're wound up for the uppercut. So here or. Okay. So. Nice and slow, mostly forward. Make sure you keep dropping the shoulders as you go. Drop the shoulders. dropping the shoulders. You're always keeping your center of gravity low, even at the end of the punch. All right, same thing, left leg now. Make sure to keep focusing on dropping the shoulders the whole time. So you're bringing the back leg with you, drop the shoulders, also pivot. Keep the shoulders down when you pivot. And then when you let the punches roll off, you just kind of keep your energy in your back a little bit. Just a little bit. And then so you can roll off at the last minute. Here, 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 right, here, here, over here, just wherever. Use the waist like a steering wheel, kind of, right? So you kind of just bring the leg and then down. Try without ever actually having to punch. You're just moving your body. Just pivoting and moving your body. All right. So there. Start over. Time. You're trying to work two different things at once, right? You're going to work the legs working, but at the same time you're relaxing. You're trying to just relax. One side of the body is always just kind of dipping, like you're walking, right? So here's when you do this, it's this part that's dipping, the pivoting part, right? The part that kind of dips. But the thing is when you're doing this move, it's just going, So it's mainly this part, right? That part's kind of doing this, right? But then it switches when you start pivoting. That makes sense or not really?
Yeah, makes sense.
All right, so now let's do angles going back and really focus on, so we're doing this angle, like our feet are here. You're just doing this angle and then these, right? But, so we're gonna work, like say we're here, work, then as this comes back, as the foot comes back, you go here, but focus more on these. There's still, you can still do the same ones we were doing last time, which is this, right? Where you just work, it's still the same idea, like working, let's say your two, by pivoting this leg, your two ends up becoming a three, right? So you're working your two, but then eventually, when you get way over here, it becomes a three, right? Because you're pulling the hook now. Three, but you're still doing this pivot, right? Then over here, you end up start working that pivot. Well, actually, we should just do it more directly into it and start staggering it after, like last time, actually. So, sorry, we'll do that next. Let's just do it a little more smooth. Just work your way all the way here. Work your way all the way here. That's your footwork, right? So you just kind of work. Into a hook. Then when you're about here, about your chances about here, you start working until that becomes a three on this side. Then you work this one back. The only difference is you want to bend a little as we're doing this, so it ends up being, okay, all of this ends up being, see, the same on these, right? Then we go this way. Work some uppers in there. And work uppers in there. Make sense?
Yep.
All right, so same idea as last time. Just putting more bend. Can we go under? Okay. And we'll do a little kind of simple, and in the next round we can start staggering it, playing around more with the moves, or more fun that way. Hi. So we're gonna go. Also feel like someone's pushing you back, and they're trying to push you back. You don't let them. You only let them push one side of you at a time. So they push you into here, and they push you over to here, and they push you over. So they can't push you this way. They have to. Right. So they have to push you over. Or I'm sorry, we're going this way right here. Push you over here. They keep pushing. Now they keep pushing you on this side. So you're always getting out of your way into the next stance. You're going to come back the same. drop the shoulders. I can see like when you put the uppercuts in there, it makes it easier to go forward with this, you know. So you can every little step, you know, every couple of degrees, you can do a lot with that. All right, now same idea, but you can play with the step now. It doesn't have to be, right, it can be more, just work however you want, however you really want to do it. Doesn't mean you have to do it in any particular way, but you play with the steps. But yeah, so just, you can mix it up however you want with the steps. But make sure it's primarily the step you're thinking of. And that we keep dropping the shoulders the whole time. One hip and both shoulders dropped all the time, right? Timed. Oh, it's funny with those angles, you can just keep a combo going the whole time. There's this fighter named Ennis. I forget his first name, it's like Gerard or something. But you should watch him if you get a chance because he fights on right-handed or left-handed. But he does the same thing we're doing. Well, not exactly, but I mean, but he's constantly going from one side to the other. I've never seen anybody do it that smoothly, you know?
Wow.
Usually you have to stay on one side for a minute, a little bit, then the other, then one, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But with him, it doesn't matter where his feet are.
Yeah.
He just stops and combos with perfect balance. It's just, never seen anything like that. Anyway, so let's work that again, but with some more focus on the uppercut this time. So let's work like our front foot's here, just a little pigeon toe, maybe 45 degrees, a little less. But you're gonna go here. Actually, try it this way here. It doesn't drop until you're on the way up. Your hand doesn't drop until you're on the way up. So well, you can do it two different ways. You can either go drop the hand when you drop the hip, stand up, or you can drop the hip and then you kind of delay this. So when the hip's already on the way up, this drops and hits. So it's more sudden, you know. People don't see this, you know. They see this, and it's a little harder to see it. You know, it's not. This is a telegraph where here it's a little harder to see coming. Even if you drop it, but you drop it at the last minute, you know. Anyway, so you can do it either way, but yeah, pivot. Work this pivot here. See, that's gonna drop the hip here. Here, and then when you're coming back this way, and you can do these, you know, but you don't really have to do much here, right? You just go here or here, but then those are the perfect setups for these guys. Right, without having to do a lot of work here, or any work there. So let's work mainly that, just from this side, the left foot in front, or you can do the right foot in front since you're southpaw, then we're gonna switch the other way. Oh, it's already paused. So it's gonna be time. So really, you're just working between this smoothly. That's it, really. Drop this hip, drop this hip. Drop the left hip, drop the right hip. And at the last minute, it's because when you weight shifts to here, you drop it, right? When weight shifts to here, you drop it. And don't even worry about the punch part either. Just go, like you're almost hitting, like you're hitting him on the, you have a little knife on your hip, you're trying to hit him with that. Like, this way, it's a little ahead of it. And be careful with this part. When you wind up, make sure it's all lined up. Take your time, and then speed up when you want to. But land, make sure you feel it feels good. Everything's lined up before you dip and put power. Once it's lined up and comfortable, you can do whatever speed you want, right? But just want to be comfortable between here. See, so you dip here, but you're getting your body out this way. It's just not that, doesn't have to be that exaggerated, but right. Same thing here. It's like a golf swing, right? But it's really only the hip that has to do that. I mean, you don't have to actually do this. even though the follow through is that direction. Feel like someone pushes you into that. You don't even do it yourself. You're here and they push you into it. They push you into it. You wind up a little bit. You can play with this step however you want to. Like you can. Now, same thing, other side. You feel that in the legs? You do?
Yes, yep.
Cool, cool. Especially on that, when you dip the hip, right? Really, as long as the leg's nice and lined up, uses the whole leg, kind of like a spring or something, right? Only you just kind of half go halfway on spring, just instead of having the on spring, of course. So other side. So the legs are always right halfway wound up. There it is. It's all about just winding up the back leg correctly. It's nothing to do with up here. For this, I was trying to find it. Because this side, I'm good here. But trying to do it on this side, I just wasn't coordinating. You gotta have, it's gotta be like all leg, basically. I don't think you have that problem. Because you practice on the other side for 2 years?
Yeah, and I probably total of 4 years.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, I did 2 years recently, yeah. If you're southpaw, you gotta be able to do orthodox, you know?
Yeah, that's a good point. Lefties have an advantage that way. Actually, lefties have advantages in a lot of ways, actually.
Yeah,
so like in the amateur. Say again?
And if you want to teach, you have to be able to do everything left-handed or right-handed, you know?
Right. That's true. Yeah, and just to adapt to other things that are all right-handed too. But it must really be hard with the swords and stuff.
That's a mess. Forms is like that. I think that's the reason I don't like weapons. Like I've never really been drawn to it because it's always the forms are always right-handed and I can't do them that well.
You gotta watch it in the mirror.
It's not so much I learn it backwards. I'm very left-handed, so my right hand is just not as coordinated, you know?
Yeah, I'm trying to do a sword set with my left hand. It's just like, oh god.
Yeah. I can do it fine, but like dexterity is not good. Like my.
Right. It's like trying to write.
Yeah.
So let's go a little freestyle. Let me see much.
Got like 10 minutes.
Oh, 10 minutes. Oh, that's perfect. Just enough time for so let's do a couple rounds of freestyle and just main thing is just try to first of all just keep bringing the shoulders back into so, and then we'll do the basic steps back to the basic steps where you're one step, make sure you're dropping the shoulders, or the 2-step, right, or the 3. You can bring the 3 back in it. But and then you do it either side, whichever one you want. Really doesn't matter. We'll freestyle it, and then just add the pivots up. So you're doing a lot of here. Make sure you're dropping the shoulders and a lot of pivots. So really, I would say for a minute or so, just do footwork, and then you can start bringing all say when it's a minute, and then start bringing the hands into it however you want. But just footwork and just easy too, because it's kind of a lot of moves when you do that. So it's a lot to go over. So just like slow it down, you know, however you want. Think of it like you're drawing, like you're drawing on the ground or something like that. Just using here in the legs. And by the way, that push and pull thing works really good for these angles, right? If you're doing like a push and pull thing with this foot, it makes this really easy, you know, the push and pull. All right, and time. Not that you want to do it all that fast, but it's just stronger and more in balance that way. Oh, I forgot no punches. That way you're always dropping the shoulders on all these moves. And just punching, just dropping. Doing this. And you let your hands start to go a little by little. I would still do this round primarily footwork. You know, it's just those 3 steps, especially if you do them on either side, and then you mix that with the angles. It kind of gives you a lot to work with. You can make stuff up as you go along with that, you know. Thing is, though, is you can work like real big circles, you know, doing this stuff, or it can all just be real small circles, real small angles right here. And then one other round, same thing. Switch window.
Other stance or just same thing?
Oh, same thing. But you can do either stance.
Wait.
Try to mainly put those first 3 steps in where you're either here, here. Then it's when I put the pivot in. You can set a lot of stuff up that way because every time you move the hip, it's like you're setting a trap. You set up a trap, right? Even just a little bit. Whew. So, it's a lot to think about at once. All right, trying to use all those moves. I think we have a cool down. Time for a cool down.
Okay.
Let's see.
You got 2 minutes.
Yeah, 2 minutes. Yeah. Let's do the same thing. Slow it down though. Really mainly on the legs. You do the arms however you need, but however you feel. But go with the. Try to think with the legs. If you have this and you're trying to control with your legs, match the opponent, right? Your hands just are in position and it's kind of go by themselves, really. Make sure to set traps with the hips as you're doing this. Just make sure you kind of bend into the hip when you're setting the trap there. Oh, by the way, I'll catch you next week.
Yes. Thank you.
No problem. No problem. Have a good one.
Thanks, you too. Get home safe.
Definitely. Yeah, I always look at the sides when I'm going through it.
I know.
Especially nowadays. People are driving really crazy nowadays.
Yeah.
You can always feel the stress on the roads.